Boom, and another live. Now the people can see what we're talking about and we're not all cloak and dagger. But yeah, like I said, I seen you online and I was like, damn, that guy's got a story. He's got a background. He's got energy. He's got drive. Let's share it. So I thought I'd best get you on here.
Oh man, I'm excited, man. Thank you for having me on. This is exciting. I'm excited to meet the audience here and serve the best of my abilities, brother.
Yeah, definitely. And then what I'll do after it's done and then share it about. Once it's shared about, then I rip it down. Then I put it onto YouTube. Once that's done, I get those and embed it onto the website. So, you know, mine and your faces are shared on 3 different platforms, which is great.
That's awesome. Repurposing content, man. That's the key right there.
That's it. And then a little bit down the line, what we do is we chop up the golden nuggets and we slap that on Instagram as well.
That's what. So you got the whole process dialed in.
That's it. Maximizing. So tell us a bit about your story, man.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So it's a long story, so I'm gonna chop it down and condense it as much as possible, man. But you know, I grew up wanting to be accepted and to fit in with everybody else because I lost my father at 7. So I'm looking at all these wrong role models, you know, to fit in with. And when I wasn't accepted or by other people, it made me feel inferior, it made me feel inadequate, and that led to depression. That led to drug addiction. And by the time I was 19, I went to prison for over 4 years flat on a 7-year sentence. And a lot of shit happened during that time, you know, obviously. But a lot of it, you know, I look at it now and I'm like, you know, it was good because it made me who I am today. I got out, you know, at 23 years old after going in at 19. I didn't want to go back to prison. I don't think anybody does. So I got a job working at a bar and grill, only place I could find a job. I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit in me. My family's been entrepreneurs. I couldn't find anything anywhere else. So I'm working at this bar and grill 50 to 60 hours a week. And then I get a job at this clothing store that I shopped at. And I was excited about that. And the first week, my 3rd day there, I sold 3,000. The whole store did 9,000. And they gave me a promotion. And I'm like, yes, you know, I'm finally moving past. I'm putting my past behind me. I'm getting this promotion at a better job. I'm not working at Bar and Grill. This is awesome, right? And I put in my 2 weeks at the Bar and Grill where I was working at, where I had stability in my life. And 2 days later, boom, they call the clothing store, said, hey, you're a convicted felon. You got to kick rocks. So I'm like, man, yeah. So instead of just, you know, continuing to grind and search for other opportunity, I chose to throw a pity party for myself, became an alcoholic. Hardcore, got a DWI, didn't get locked up. I bonded out. And then one night I got obliterated drunk. I woke up, lights were bright, blaring headache. My back was hurting because I was sleeping on a metal bunk with no mattress. And I realized I was back in jail in Ferguson, Missouri. I'm like, oh shit, you know, last night couldn't have went good at all. And I realized that I was heading back to prison just 20 days before my twin sons were born. And that was it for me, bro. That was like, I was like, dude, I'm done. Like, you know, this all I ever wanted to be, you know, was the father that I never had. And here I am, supposed to be the man of the family, the protector of the family. And I'm not even going to be here to bring my children into the world. I'm leaving my girlfriend, now wife, by herself to do that. You know, I felt big enough to sit on a penny and swing my feet from it, bro. So that's what sparked the change right there in that jail cell. I said, I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get out, be happy and successful and a responsible father. I didn't know what success looked like. I didn't know what happiness looked like. I didn't even know how the hell I was going to get a job when I did get home. I didn't even know when I was coming home at the time, but I just knew my reasons why. I didn't need to know how. I knew my reasons why. And I got out after doing 8 months and couldn't get a job anywhere. I was searching for a month and a half religiously, talking about 5 to 20 applications a day. And then finally, about after 2 months, I got introduced to network marketing. At the time, you couldn't scare me off with the word pyramid scheme because I didn't know what the hell it was. But I'm no longer in network marketing, but I did that for about 2 years. And right away, I was able to build almost a $2,000 a month income through it. So for me, for a guy that couldn't even get a job or anything, it was like a game changer. Like $2,000 a month isn't like, oh my God, you're rich, but it was everything for me. But most importantly, it showed me that I can create a lifestyle by design. However, though, after doing it for a while, it just wasn't my true calling. I started feeling like a parasite. Like, have you ever gotten like somebody hit you up on Facebook and a friend request, you accept it, and 2 seconds later they're in your inbox like, yo, I got this $1 million thing, you can become a millionaire in 2 weeks, blah 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 blah. You're like, get the hell, I want some. Yeah. So I just felt like a parasite. I was skipping the whole relationship building process, and I learned through that. But I moved on, became a coach in the beginning of 2017. All of 2017 was falling flat on my face, not getting any clients because I didn't take the time to really dial in and realize what my audience truly wanted and needed and how I could best serve them. And finally, I launched the podcast beginning of this year. When I finally dialed in on my audience, it became a top 200 podcast in the world in the first week. And all my friends like, dude, you got lucky. You're an overnight success. And I'm like, motherfucker, dude, I spent 3.5 years banging my head off this wall trying to figure this stuff out. Luck is preparation meeting opportunity. That's all that luck is, dude. But yeah, and since then, I've been able to really dial in on my audience. I've been able to partner up with a JV partner that's sold his last academy that he created last year, sold over 20 million. So like now here I am with all this arsenal and ready to arm my audience with tools that they need to help them scale, help them reach 6 figures and scale to 7. So it's been a journey. It's been exciting. And I'm just happy to be here where I'm at today and grateful for every part of the process.
That story is the one that I seen, and I was like, damn, this guy has been through similar stuff that I have. I haven't been to jail, but I went down the same path: drink, drugs, women, fighting, always arrested. I've been on every process other than actually being inside. So, I was like, I can appreciate the change because so many don't. Mm-hmm. And I visit friends and family in jail now, and I always say to them, just pick up a book. Please pick up a book. And none of them want to pick up a book. They're like, nah, screw your books, bro. I'm like, come on, just pick up one, man. Just please. Just take one bit of knowledge in and your whole life changes. And you got books around you, and I see you're obviously a self-developer as well.
Yeah, man. I was peeping your bookshelf out too, man. I always like, what's he reading?
I do it all the time. I'm in this great book club. It's Ben's Business Book Club.
Okay.
And they all share self-development books, and they kind of rate the books, and they kind of share which ones they found. And then I think my latest one is Richard Branson's autobiography.
Nice.
I got that for £3.50. Well, that's like just under $5 or something. And I was like, I shared it in there, and they're all, love heart emojis. This book club's just full of people who love that self-development mindset.
Yeah, man. 100%, dude.
As you probably know, your social circle will either push you forward or hold you back, which is huge. And I did a video on it, and I kept saying to people, wherever we've been, like yourself, you've been down a very dark and dangerous path. It's been very negative. And myself, I spent 10 years doing the wrong things, chasing cocaine, getting fired from jobs, getting another dead-end job, angry, fighting, getting arrested all the time. And all that negativity, if you look around you at those times in your life, a lot of it is negative people, more people who are kind of influencing your actions. And they don't want you to do bad, but they're not helping you do good. So a lot of the times we do have to look at people around us and see who's influenced us for the best outcome. I say to a lot of people, who really wants you to excel? We've got a lot of friends who will get drunk with us, but they are friends. But we got a lot of people who will take drugs with us. They are friends, but has a friend ever sat down with you? And I was talking to Jarek Robbins not long ago, and he said, if you hate your job and you and 2 of your friends at the weekend wrote out a load of resumes or CVs and just look for a new job with you, that's now a team. That's no longer your friendship. That's your success team. And I was like, wow, that makes so much sense to me. Yeah,
dude. I mean, I think you're exactly right. Like, that's everything, bro. It's not just like somewhat like you hear that cliche quote of like, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Like, dude, it is, dude. Like, when I hung out with losers, I was a loser and went to prison and was doing drugs and all this shit. And then when I started hanging out with winners, I started winning in life. And it's crazy, dude. Like, So I've done over 47 interviews now on the podcast, and I've interviewed people like Billy Gina's marketing, Cole Hatter from Thrive, like a ton of these great entrepreneurs, right? And every single one, they've all had this commonality. Like every single one, they're very, very, very intentional about their circle, who they surround themselves with. And I know that could be easier said than done, because you might have a family member that you really love, and it's like you can't like not love them, or like, might have a brother or sister or whoever, but you can choose if you spend time with them or not. You can still love them from a distance. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse. You got to get around people that are going to bring you up, or otherwise you're going to suffer the consequences.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with you, and that's why I like connecting with people like yourself. I had to catch you online, and then I had to connect even further. And I think I've just recently followed you on Instagram like a crazy kind of groupie.
Hey, likewise. I gotta get on Instagram and follow you back. But yeah, man, it's always great connecting with driven and gritty people like yourself.
That's it. And I still see a lot of people around me, and they're like, nah, screw books, nah, screw jobs, nah, screw even trying to get a promotion, nah, screw life. And I'm like, come on, man. And then Jarek said it as well, and I've recently known that you can't save everyone. You just can't. You really have to knuckle down and get focused on you. And a lot of the time people will come to you and be like, I need a change now, and then you can help them. But if they're not looking for it, then a lot of the time's wasted, energy's wasted on trying to save people.
Yeah, 100%. It's something that I dealt with hardcore. Like when I first got into coaching, dude, my thing was like, I want to help ex-convicts and former drug addicts. You know what I'm saying? That's who I want to help. Well, I quickly realized two things. One, most of them don't even want to be helped. They got to want the help themselves, or else you're just going to be fighting an uphill battle that's going nowhere. They got to be ready and willing and open to the help. And two, they didn't have money, and I got to provide for my family. People that say they're not in it for money, that's bullshit. I am definitely in it for the money. It's not the number one thing why I'm in it for, but I am in it for the money. It's like one in the top 3, top 4 for sure. You got to have money to live and live a certain lifestyle you want to live. My number one reason why is definitely my legacy. I want to create a legacy that lives on far after I'm gone, that I can contribute to the world in my own special way, with my own unique way. We all have that within us. So that's the number one driver. But yeah, people that say money isn't a driver, dude, that's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I see Grant Cardone says it a lot. Like a lot of the broke people say, nah, money ain't everything. And Ty Lopez, I've seen say it as well. Like how the only people who say money ain't everything is because they're not willing to go and work for it. They're lazy. So they're going to give themselves that excuse just to not go get it. So our money ain't happiness. You try to be happy when you're broke and worried about paying bills.
Yeah, exactly. Like they say, money can't buy you happiness, but being broke can't buy you shit.
Yeah. And a lot of people, when I connect with people now, I'm like, yeah, do you know what? I might struggle now. I might struggle next week, next year, next month. But in the end, it's all going to pay off. Everything pays off. I'm growing. I'm always growing. I'm always connecting. I'm always working. I'm getting more clients, and they're building a business. I'm connecting with like-minded people like yourself. And some people just don't understand the process because they're still getting that, £1,000 a month, and they're still working, and they know it's coming in next month and the next month and the next month till they get fired or resign over here. They're happy doing that, but I'm more happy doing that. I need to level the shit up.
Amen. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. You see like and let's be for real here, too, entrepreneurship, there's nothing sexy about it. Like I can't stand these fake entrepreneurs that get their rental Lambos and take pictures like, oh, I got this quick, easy way that you can make some money. No, that's bullshit. Like entrepreneurship, you're going to find out what you're made of. You're going to find out how much grit you really have. What's your character like? Because it's not easy. It's not sexy. You're going to ram your head into brick walls constantly, consistently trying to figure out. And then eventually you're going to realize, oh shit, the best way to figure this stuff out is actually fork up some money to somebody that already has what I want and pay them to teach me what they know so I can get there a lot faster. That's what I had to go through in my process. I was trying to figure it out through trial and error all these years. And it wasn't until I actually started investing in coaching when I really started to level it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be hard as a coach because do you still get people now? Obviously, your whole persona and characters change, but do you still get people trying to judge you from your past?
No, and the reason why, so like when I first got in entrepreneurship, I didn't share my story. I was worried because I was like, well, this is going to damage me and I won't be able to make money to provide for my family. I'm an entrepreneur. I got to put on this entrepreneur persona, like a businessman or whatever, like all proper and adequate or whatever. And I realized though that my power, my message is in the mess, you know, and by sharing that and being completely open and authentic about it and not hiding anything back, people can't bag on you when you're already bagging on yourself and taking responsibility for it. You leave them no room for no angles to come at you about that. So that's one of the key words. Now, I know that word authenticity is a buzzword and gets thrown around a lot, but you could really spot out true authenticity when somebody's being authentic, and we all have high bullshit meters, so we can spot out the bullshit pretty easily as well.
Yeah, I see a lot of the bullshit. I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen my Facebook page. It's obviously Facebook/Mr. Fatz TV, and on there I kind of screenshot some of these entrepreneurs or these traders. They're like, yeah, I could get you $2,500 next week. Just invest $300 now. I'm like, come on, man, come on. What are you doing? And the last one, he was going for it all the way till the end, and then I started saying my name's Harry Potter. You know, yeah, my money's in Gringotts banks, and I just everything from the Harry Potter films to wind them up and waste their time. And then I started sending pictures of Harry Potter, saying, "This is me as a child." And all the time you see these fake people online, like is it pictures of money, it's pictures of Lamborghinis, like you say, and they don't own that shit.
Right.
And
yeah,
it's the worst.
Yeah, dude, I'm really glad you brought that up because I literally just made a post like an hour or two ago talking about this. So, you know, I get it because when you're just starting out as an entrepreneur, you got to position yourself as a credible source of information, and you don't want to you want to position yourself in the right way so you can attract your ideal high-paying customers, but at the same time, you can't lie and say that you got this stuff or whatnot. So, like, I was literally just going through this, like, I felt like an imposter, and I felt conflicted, and I felt low, and I felt inferior. And the reason why, it was like a few months ago, I realized that my audience, like I mentioned earlier, they didn't want personal development. Like, not saying that you can't continue to grow, but my audience wanted to learn how to make some money in their business. So I'm excited because I'm like, yes, I finally figured out how I can best serve my audience. But at the same time, I'm like, well, who the hell am I to try and teach underdog entrepreneurs how to make 6 figures and scale to 7 when I haven't done that myself, you know? And I'm like, and so I'm sitting here feeling conflicted, right? And I literally was this close from walking away from coaching because I was like, I it's not in my blood. I cannot sit here like these fake entrepreneurs and say that I'm something I'm not. And I'm definitely will never say, hey, I got this quick, easy way to make money, because I know that's bullshit. There ain't no quick, easy way to make money. You got to put in the work. So I'm sitting there and I'm like going through this conflicted. And so I was like, okay, 2 things changed though. I launched a podcast back in April, became a top 200 rated podcast in the world in the first week. So I'm like, okay, my audience is responding to my message. I'm like, okay. So then my game plan from that moment was like, all right, I'm not going to put out these coaching programs and these services teaching people how to make money. I'm going to continue interviewing these entrepreneurs that are making money, share what I learned there, and then I'm going to continue to grow my affiliate. I do affiliate marketing where I got income coming from that. I said I'm going to continue to grow that and get that ramped up. And then once I become a 6-figure entrepreneur, then I'll create coaching services and products that will help my audience the best serve my audience based on what I learned. So that was my game plan. But then the key turning point came is when through my consistent marketing efforts, consistently posting on all my social media platforms, just being out there, I caught the attention of my JV partner, and he's launched successful program after successful program every single year. And his last program did over 20 million in sales, and it's still going, that he created. And he wanted to team up with me because he never served the underdog audience. He's always served high-level executives, multiple 6-figure entrepreneurs and stuff. And he said he's seen an opportunity there because it's a highly underserved market. And he seems like, dude, you got the audience. You just need some good coaching and good program. And I was like, now I felt, I feel great about it. I don't feel like an imposter or like I'm faking anymore because I have legit proven processes, proven programs that actually help you do that. And but yeah, I was just feeling like shit, So the key takeaway you could take away from that, because I know a lot of us entrepreneurs that are just getting started out, we want to help people. We're like, damn, I don't feel like I'm good enough yet. If you feel like your value, no matter where you are in your business, man, every single one of us has some type of value that'll help somebody else get to the next level. I don't care what it is. There's something that you can help somebody with. Find out what that is, and then go to work on your craft every single day relentlessly and become so valuable that people are banging on your door and asking for your help. And the best way to fast track all of that is to invest in mentors, someone that already has what you want, and pay them to teach you how to get that. That's the number one shortcut. That's the only shortcut you're really going to find in business, flat out.
That's good, strong advice. I mean, so many people do say, mentors are the way forward because you've got somebody to level up to. You've got somebody to learn from. I recently spoke to a millionaire. He's up in Essex, which is somewhere in England. And I traveled up there. We got a video. We got like a Fatz Chats talk. And he said to me, if he was to read, the only thing he reads are biographies and autobiographies. Because if you want to connect to, Richard Branson, Alan Sugar, Elon Musk, if you want to sit down and talk to these people, you're going to spend hundreds of thousands just to talk to them. If you go out and spend a little bit of money on autobiographies and biographies, you're going to get a lesson directly from them, but indirectly, but for a fraction of the cost. And he said, that's like having a mentor. Every time you read one of these books, you get an insight into their lifestyle, what they have done, what they have achieved, where they did fail. And it's like spending hundreds of thousands, but you're only spending $20 or £20 for one of these autobiographies or books. And I thought that was really insightful because there's so many self-development books out there, but not many value the autobiography stuff. And I didn't until, I was sitting down with a millionaire and he was telling me, autobiographies are the way forward to have like your own little mentor. I was like, wow, that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And I get where you're going with that. And I do agree. So like, here's another way around it. So with these autobiographies, they're super powerful. And that is like, dude, I am obviously see my humongous bookshelf. Like I'm a religious reader. I'm currently reading Steal Like an Artist, which is really great for like your creativity. Definitely highly recommend it. It was recommended by one of my mentors, paid coaches, Mitch Miller, beast copywriter. You guys got to check him out. Dude is a monster. Helped me out so much and continues to. But I constantly personal development pouring in these books. Like I grow from that. Yeah. What I learned though too is that through just reading though, sometimes most of the time you're going to have a specific problem that you can't just be addressed from reading a book. And so like you need that one-on-one conversation implementation to work on the specific problem that you're having in your business or in your whatever coaching that you're investing into. And so for the ones that don't have like money to invest into a coach, for one, you could figure out ways and be resourceful and figure out ways how to make that happen. And you can also find a person that has what you have and it's not costing you an arm and a leg. It's going to be an investment, and it's going to be like, oh, I got to sacrifice something. But for the ones that like legit don't have any money, you could reach out to people and offer to help them with, figure out something that they're currently working on that they could use help with, and offer like, man, dude, I'll be your VA and produce all your videos and all your content and be your social media manager and manage your email inbox or whatever. Like there's so many different ways that you can figure out how to help them. Like, man, I'm just trying to tell them like, dude, I'm trying to level up. I don't have the money, but I will do whatever you need me to do for some coaching advice to help me get to the next level. Dude, most entrepreneurs will dig the shit out of that and give you a chance to get out there. They love seeing somebody that's hungry and ambitious and that's going to go out and do it. So there's so many ways. You just got to be resourceful. One of the things that you follow Tony Robbins at all?
Yeah, Tony Robbins, Jarek Robbins, and Mel Robbins.
Yeah, all Robbins in the house. One thing I love about Tony Robbins, what he says, he talks about, and this is key for like the underdog entrepreneur. That's like the audience I love serving, like people that are just starting out that are in business that just can't get to that 6-figure and 7-figure range. Is like, we don't, as underdogs, we don't have all the resources necessarily out the gate like all these top dogs do. We don't have the networks in place. We don't have the money in place. We don't have the team in our business in place. We don't have the operation systems, all that, right? But we have that the best resource of all is we have that underdog mentality, that grit, like I'm going to go out and make shit happen. And if you don't have to have the resources, you just got to be resourceful. Like Tony Robbins says, like being resourceful, like ask yourself, like, who has what I need? Who can help me get this? What can I do next to bring me one step closer? What's not working so I can figure out what is. Like, dude, asking yourself questions is so powerful. Like all we are as entrepreneurs is we're artists and we're problem solvers. That's it.
That's big. The resourcefulness, it's good that you brought that up, because there's a guy that I seen online and I was like, wow, that's so basically resourceful. It was a young man up in London, and he went to just a rich area. And he was like not a street kid, but you could tell that he wasn't as privileged as these rich people. But all he did was, in this really rich area in London, he knocked on doors. And he just said, look, this is me. This is where I come from. This is what I got. This is a public school. All I want to do is ask you how you live in such area and what mindset I need to live in an area like this. And he just knocked on every single door, kept going every day to the same area. And one person was like, I love your drive. I'm giving you a job. And now he's successful working in a job up in this high-end area, big city part of London, just because he went out there and he was resourceful. It just took him a bit of time.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's legit, man. I mean, it doesn't, dude. I don't say this to brag and boast by any means, because that's just not who I am. I'm a humble person and very grateful for where I'm at today. But anybody, I don't care where you're coming from in life, you can have whatever you want in life if you're willing to go out and make it happen. If you're willing to stop making the excuses of what's holding you back. Dude, I did over half a decade of my life in prison. I used to be a crackhead picking crack crumbs off of hotel floors. I used to plunge needles of heroin and overdose in my arm. Like, I was out there bad. Came home to 2 newborn boys after I turned my life around with no way to get a job or anything. But I figured it out because I wanted to, and I took complete ownership for all the things wrong in my life. And then at that moment, when I took complete ownership, I was able to take responsibility for everything right. It is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same as, with the mindset, as it's self-awareness. And I try and tell people so much, like everything in your life you can control. Things happen that are out of our control, but how we react is in our control. How we escalate it is in our control. I've not got a belly because I like, go to the gym all the time. I got a belly because I like sweets, man. Like, it's self-awareness. And I keep telling people I could go to the gym every day, but you can't outwork the fork. And I can't blame it on, the girlfriend. I can't blame it on the family. I can't say I eat junk because they're here eating junk. You got to be self-aware, and everything is down to you 100%. Somebody's going to bed at 8 o'clock and they can't be bothered. They've just been working all day. They get home at 6, go to bed at 8, wake up and hate their job. Somebody else is going to bed at 12 because they're putting in some overtime on self-development. Nobody's got more time or less time, but we love to make excuses. Like you said, a lot of people love making those excuses. And I hear it all the time. Like, I would go to the gym, but I haven't got time. Like, bro, we both got 24 hours. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care who your family member is. I don't care where you've been in life. Nobody's got more than 24 hours ever.
Yeah.
Got that excuse all the time.
Yeah, 100%, brother. I mean, you nailed it right there. We all got the same 24 hours every day. I do got to run here because I got to run into the next appointment. But, bro, dude, I really appreciate you having me on here. This was an awesome conversation. I was glad to be able to get to open up and share with your audience, dude. It's been awesome.
Your story, your background, and your movement is all respected. Please keep me up to date with your stuff. I'm happy to share it over here. Send me over some links. I'll put them up on the page. I'll also put them up on YouTube and underneath this.
Right on, my man. I appreciate you, man. And thank you again.
You have a good one. Take care.
All right, brother.